Hello, you lovely, lovely lot. Welcome to the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. I'm Alex Whiteley. Welcome to the show. Today we're going to be embracing the world of art once again, supporting local artists once again. I was called to arms with my microphone in hand to attend the Colour Now opening exhibition at the Gateway Gallery. If you don't know where the Gateway is, Gateway Training is a gallery there with a cafe. I've done training there as well with my old job at work, and it's situated just at the bottom of Coat Now. And it's a really nice space for art. I want to say thank you to Lucy Caddel for inviting me along. We met at Jerrard, you may remember. We did a quick little snippet interview, and we hit it off really well. And she invited me along to an event that I think it was really, really nice because not only was it really, really attractive in the way that it was bright, colourful art, there were artists from all over the country, and Wales too. I've got to include that. And, it was nice to see so many creatives in one space. And it was not just that, it brought out lots of art aficionados, I don't know, representatives of art in Shrewsbury and Shropshire out. And it was really nice to see those people because I hadn't been out for a while to do this kind of thing. And it was really good to be doing my thing. And we spoke to Amy Rhodes, Natalie Chapman, Lucy Caddel, Julia Buckley, our MP. We spoke to Michael Paramore, Cherie, Jerrard from Jerrard, and then Julia Buckley at the end. It was really, really nice. So thank you to anybody that spoke to me on this one. I hope you enjoy this one. And what I'm going to do is the links for all the artists' Instagram pages, I'm going to put on the readout for this podcast. So if you hear an artist that you really like, give them a follow so you can actually see their art. I appreciate this is an audio-only podcast, but, give them a follow and give them some support because it's really, really nice. And finally, go to Gateway Gallery. Go and have a look at the art yourself. It's still there for the next few weeks. If you see a piece you like, dig deep and enjoy the art you've bought. I don't know, but just go and see it, It doesn't cost anything to go and have a look, take a picture, share and tag an artist and, help them grow. Okay then, so here we go. This is our episode of featuring Colour Now and the artists that were featured on this exhibition. Make sure you stick around at the end because there's some news I want to talk to you about as the biscuit's evolving, and I just want to share a little bit about our plans and what you got to look forward to. In the meantime, enjoy this podcast. This is Colour Now 2025. Enjoy. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Amy Rhodes and I'm an artist here at Colour Now 25.
It's amazing, so much colour, and there's lots of people here as well. Lots of familiar faces, lots of art people here today. What does it mean for you to be exhibited in such a nice space?
It's a pleasure, really. There's loads of beautiful art, lots of colour. It works really well together. Great artists.
Has art always been a passion of yours?
It has, yeah. Right from when I was little to grown up. Had a bit of a gap in painting, but I've come back and it feels even better than what it did before.
What do you think draws you into? Because I see the landscapes that you make. What do you think draws you into that style of art? What makes that your thing?
I think it just feels good to paint colour, and it just makes me feel happy. I think that's what it is. Really, it draws me in, and even just going on a little walk, seeing the changing seasons and seeing all the pops of colour just inspires me to.
It's really nice, isn't it? I think like seasons, talk about seasonal changes, you can find inspiration everywhere kind of walking around. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, the frost was everywhere. Driving down like normal roads and normal places, and you're like, oh my God, that could be on a Christmas card. It's nice, isn't it?
It makes it look all like prettier, doesn't it? Yeah. But for me, just walking in my garden and just seeing a pop of colour, I think I just see colours differently sometimes. And
so is art your primary function? Do you have a job? Or
no, art is, I'm a mom of 3 kids, so that takes up a lot of time. But I feel like art is a bit of my piece that I can get to. It's nothing to do with the kids, it's nothing to do with anyone else, it's just something for me. I can be selfish with it.
I can relate to that. We all got our own little vices in life, and vices is probably the wrong. Hobbies are really important. They really are.
They really are. Yeah, really good for your mental health, and I think something that keeps your mind active, other than looking at your phone or watching TV, is really good.
I think we need to step away from that, especially if you're going to get out into nature.
Definitely.
And we all take from nature, but it's nice if you can give something back from it.
It really is. Yeah, it definitely is. And I think just simply going for a walk and finding a field, or I think that can really change the way you think and bring a bit more positivity into your life, which is nice.
And you're exhibited along Lucy, who's obviously very vibrant, bright colours.
Yeah.
Is it an easy choice to make to be alongside someone so bright?
Well, Lucy messaged me saying, do you want to be part of this exhibition? And it was a definite yes. And then when she was the one who got all the artists together, and I think she's done an amazing job, and I'm really happy to be exhibiting with these people.
Amazing. Are you Shrewsbury based?
I am Staffordshire based, but it's half an hour down the road, so
yeah, it's nice. Very good neighbours, as far as like the art scene goes. Do you think there's been improvements? Do you think like there's exciting times? Do you think there needs to be more of an injection of things? How did you think?
I think for me, when I look back to when I left uni, like donkey's years ago, I think the biggest change I've seen is Instagram, social media, and I think it's such an exciting time to be able to put your work out there so easily. Me and Lucy was only chatting when I left uni. I put adverts in newspapers and try and get work, where now it's just so accessible, and I think that's exciting.
It's exciting, but it's also very difficult to stand out.
It is difficult to stand out, but it's free marketing for your work, which is great.
Absolutely. My son, he watches like YouTube shorts and stuff, and he watches like these videos of these guys drawing like 5-minute sketches with these pens, and then 10-minute sketches. Like that's amazing to see that there's that kind of influence everywhere now.
Yeah, my son does exactly the same, and actually it's amazing to see how his drawings have progressed just by watching this man on TV. So I do think, technology does have its good parts.
Amazing, yeah. So where can people find your work? I mean, what are you online, or do you have other places and galleries?
Yeah, I am online. I'm amyrhodesart.com. That's my website. I'm also on Instagram, Amy Rhodes Art, and I've got a piece in the new Walsall Gallery at the moment, in the Walsall Society of Artists. That's good. And there's some up at the Parade in Shrewsbury. So a few in different places, and hopefully I'll be exhibiting more throughout the year.
Amazing. If anybody's listening to this and they're thinking, they're kind of like, maybe they're watching those YouTube videos, maybe they're thinking, I want to try that. I want to get out there and show them. Like, what advice would you give to them?
I would say go for it. I'd say about 5-6 years ago, I was in the same sort of situation, thinking I want to get back into art. And it's scary to put yourself out there, but I think once you do it, you feel so much better. So go for it. You've got nothing to lose.
It's really, really great to see so many, because I'm seeing faces here that are affiliated with the art scene here in Shrewsbury, and there's so much amazing art around us, and I feel like it's like a nice warm thing to see, because it's welcoming. You can come here and just be yourself, because art is so fluid, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. There's so many different styles, and everyone's welcome.
Brilliant. Well, thank you for chatting to me today.
Thank you.
Real.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, so I'm Alex. I'm from the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Natalie Chapman, and I'm an artist from Ceredigion in West Wales.
Amazing to be in a room full of so much vibrancy and colour, right?
I know, it's great actually, because usually in a lot of shows I kind of stand out like a sore thumb. I'm feeling really at home, like I'm with my pals here.
Is it hard to be so vibrant because I feel like it draws people to your attention, but then again you're wearing your heart on your sleeve very much so, aren't you?
Yeah, I think for me, I always use colour as like a way to draw people into the painting, as a sort of initial, a bit like a butterfly or, one of those really nice flowers, and you're all like, oh, and then, like to maybe have a little bit of a spike as you get closer.
How long has art been a part of your life then, as a thing that you want to show people,
Well, forever really it's been a part of my life, but probably I've been full-time since probably 2016 now, which is brilliant. Yeah.
That's fantastic. And what's the defining moment of being an artist? What is that like? I admit I am now an artist. What is that?
I don't really know if there is one. I think you just, you just make, and you keep making, and you keep working through, ideas and processes, and you just keep putting it out there, and the rest kind of comes along with that.
It's true. And art is so broad. There's so many. We talk about photography, physical art, sculptures, audio work. Whatever you're doing, you tend to get more out of it while you're doing it, right?
Yeah, 100%. I like to work in lots of different mediums. I've done film before, photography. I still, do all of those other things. It's not just painting. I think, a lot of the time, if you're creative, you're into the whole of the arts,
Yeah, it's not. I'd say it's not an easy thing to switch off, is it? Because I think, when it comes to creatives, it's hard to switch your brain off. You always come up with new ideas, and sometimes you just got to get on with it, right? It's pretty difficult.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the joy of it, though. I don't think I'd know how to function if I wasn't just, in that constant state of creativity. I think most of us kind of we enjoy that, so it doesn't ever feel like a chore.
When I'm in a good place and I'm editing audio and I'm creating podcasts and stuff, I always compare myself to Tony Stark when he's in that garage and he's kind of got AC/DC on. He's in the zone,
he's in the zone,
and 3 hours can pass within 10 minutes. It feels, Do you have moments like that when you're painting?
I think that's what being creative is about, really. It's really important now in a generation where that level of hands-on creativity is disappearing. It's really important to be proactive about that. We've got cuts in the creative arts across all forms. I saw a lovely interview with Michael Sheen who's talking about, if you're in a position to just do it, then you owe it to your industry to just do it. And, as a Welsh artist, I think in particular, I'm really passionate about actually just creating and putting it out there and create a scene. If you start to build on something, like the saying Wayne's World, isn't it? If you build it, they will come.
If you build it, they will come.
I don't think Wayne's World had that originally, but
I think that's brilliant. I love that. And how did you finally sort of land on an art style for yourself, your niche? How long does it take to sort of perfect that?
Well, all my work is autobiographical. That's kind of everything that I do stems from something that's either I've experienced or that I'm passionate about or that's affected me in some way. And so I think this aesthetic style develops as you make work. It becomes stronger and you find your way through materials and you find out what suits you and all the rest of it. But I think in terms of narrative and content, for me it's always been, it's come from within. And
that's really nice because you can tell stories that can probably inspire others, especially going through difficult times or, emotionally charged moments of your life, I suppose, that live with you forever.
And I think, things are universal, aren't we? We all go through the same heartache and the same traumas. They may be slightly different or, they may be sort of... but in general, they're all the same type of things. Everybody can relate. If you're honest about experiences, I think you'll always find that people will appreciate that. And
I think honesty and gratitude is super important, especially if you're comfortable in your own skin and you can portray what you're feeling on some sort of canvas of many sort of mediums. That is a really important tool to sort of lean on, isn't it? Because then, like I said, you can then portray your emotions. It's not an easy thing to do, is it?
No, not really, but it's the same reason we all, if you have a breakup, you stick your breakup song on. It's that, it's collective experience, isn't it? And everybody draws themselves to that. And I think, even the visual arts have that same place. We all are drawn to an experience or a feeling that we get from a painting or a drawing or a print or a photograph. So I think as long as the content is truthful and honest and comes from a place of love, then or not love, whatever. If there's honesty, people will connect.
Absolutely. What do you think is the best emotion to create with? Because there are sort of raw passion that comes from all kinds of life.
Yeah.
For you, what's the best one to lean on?
I mean, for me, I always find, it's probably quite difficult to create in the thick of it, because actually you're like fight or flight, aren't you? So you're experiencing it. So what you've got to do is kind of create whilst you're processing it. And I think that is, they inform each other. Your work will inform your emotions, and your emotions will inform your work, and it'll probably develop into a much more comprehensive piece than it would if you were trying to create in the moment. But saying that, I've done both, so.
What's in those cliche movie moments where someone's like spraying paint at a canvas, and they stand back and they look at it?
Masterpiece.
Yeah. It's amazing. But I think once you've had that bit of clarity and you're kind of like, actually, no, let's think about this for a second.
Yeah. I think you might need a bit of both, Sometimes you have to revisit things. It might, and you've always got to think about, is it sort of passing on what I wanted it to?
Oh, brilliant. And being alongside Lucy and the other artists here today, how does that feel for you? Is that a good partnership for you?
Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's really great. I met Lucy on Instagram, where we all now meet, which was really nice. And, we just chatted to him from, we've been in a lot of exhibitions together, but we hadn't actually met until a couple of weeks ago in the flesh. So it's
We had a similar story.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it was Shrewsbury Biscuit and Lucy being, I was following Jerrard, Cherie, Jerrard, and all those people, the great artist bands that sort of go around. And Lucy, we knew of each other, followed each other on Instagram, and then we saw each other at Drawn just recently. She had a big a bowl of fruit on her head, I think it was.
As you do.
Yeah, and she was like, Alex, and I was like, Lucy. It was nice. It's mad, isn't it?
I think, there's a lot to be said for kind of developing online relationships that can flourish into things like this, isn't it? Like we just started by commenting on each other's work, and, you've got to support your fellow artists. And, actually there's a lot of power in collective things. That's really important. I think, it can be quite an insular thing if you're just painting, sharing painting, and you're not kind of working on collaborations and group shows, and this is like a perfect example of that. Like I look around, I absolutely love everybody's work, and it's actually great, and you can get a little bit of inspiration and take it away, and it feels good.
Do you feel like when you're working along such amazing artists, it kind of gives you a bit of boost? You kind of like, they've got to be on the ball here, because these guys
up my game.
Yeah.
I think you've got to always stick to your own game.
Yeah, that's very good. Stay centred, because I feel like you just said brilliantly, actually, is that we will find each other. Especially with Instagram, you see an art style or a kind of attitude towards life that kind of fits you. That's where the chemistry starts, isn't it?
Yeah, I think just as humans, we find our own crowds, and we will always do that. You gravitate towards people who have similar interests, or similar abilities, or whatever, and inevitably you create little pockets that become something a bit more than that, like this that we're looking at right now.
It's really nice to be surrounded by so much colour. It really is. I'm going to ask you, when it comes to we're talking about art, people that sit there and they look at art and think, I could do this. I really would like to put myself out there. What are the correct ways to do that? Because do you have to get good first, or can you start putting stuff out there?
I just think it's a journey, and nobody needs to be precious with it to that extent. You just start, you make a start and you learn as you go, and you learn and you develop, and as you develop and grow, your posts will become better, your paintings will become better, you'll become more comfortable about talking about your work. There's no point in life in anything waiting for that day, because there's when is that day? If you don't start now, you've missed a boat. It's just you gotta
just do it. Like Nike says, yeah.
Like Nike says, just do it.
Just do it. And does it feel better to have like a group of people to sort of stand up with, or did you go out by yourself, or did you find people, artists?
Both. I think they both have their pluses, and they're both enjoyable, and they're kind of different reasons. If you've been working on a body, it's great to see them all as one collective on show, but then also you are kind of the solo on your own then, and then it's great to do something like this where you are bouncing, the works are bouncing off each other, and it brings a whole different life to it. So I think they both have their place.
Fantastic. It's been really nice chatting to you.
And you.
Where can people sort of see your work? I mean, obviously this is an audio-only show. I'm looking at the art, you're looking at the art. We just have to. But if they wanted to actually see your art, where can they find it?
I've got a website, which is Natalie Chapman, and I've got an Instagram, which is also Natalie Chapman. So you can definitely find me on there.
What I'll do, guys, is the links to all the Instagram for the artists today, I'll put on the readout for this podcast. So click on the link, Brilliant. You can see it.
Thanks for chatting.
Brilliant, thank you.
All right.
During Drawn, I was asking people about their favourite biscuits, and people have been primed ready to talk about their favourite biscuits. What is your favourite?
Mine's a chocolate-covered digestive biscuit, because I think you can eat it without dunking it, and it still tastes good, and you can eat it with a dunk, and it'll...
You've got to be careful though. One too many dunks and that's it.
It's got to be a quick dunk. But I love it. Yeah, I love a chocolate-covered digestive.
Come on, Julia Buckley, how are you? Okay?
I'm very well, thank you. Nice to see you.
I mean, your favourite biscuit? It's a very important question.
It is really important, and it's a bit of a boring answer, but I love a rich tea because you can go sweet or savoury. If you're in the mood, you can have it with cheese. Or if you would like something sweet, you can put a layer of lemon curd and a second rich tea on the top, and you have created the most delicious moment.
That's too much work for biscuits for me.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Pimp up the biscuits.
You need Nigella when you've got rich tea and
lemon curd.
I mean, as the biscuit guy, I've been asked this a few times actually, and I've got a couple of ones are the Fox's Cream, they're
top quality, yeah.
And a chocolate hobnob.
Oh, Jaffa cake also scoring highly.
But is it a cake or a biscuit? That's what we need to know.
I think you should ask the voice of young people, Joe. I can melt away there.
Lucy, what was yours again? And we asked you.
It's a fig roll, of course. It's a fig roll. It's fruity, it's round, it's everything that my artwork is.
They're too Moorish though. You can't just have one.
Oh, that's the same for my artwork, obviously.
I've just been talking to a gentleman who's just here for the art today.
Brilliant. That's what we want.
We were talking about the vibrancy and the colour of your art.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like...
It's quite out there. It's a bit eye-bleedingly colourful.
No, but I've never seen artwork resemble a human being so much, because you're vibrant in life and it's nice.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Actually, I think everyone's obviously artists, their work reflects their personality, their identity, and it's quite interesting how this group of people have come together, and I think there's a real quiet sensuality in Michael's work. There's this splashy fun landscapes that Amy's got, and then Chris is this gritty urban Mexican style, and Natalie's is just so cool, and it's just you need to meet and talk to Natalie because she's just...
I've just had an 11-minute conversation about...
Well, I could talk loads out of that.
I could talk about her hue and her choices of colour work for an hour because it's brilliant, isn't it?
This lavender one, she sent me photos of it, and we were thinking it was one of those viral videos, because I thought it was white in the photograph. I don't know what, the quality of the photograph was terrible because she bought it, and I was like, what are these lilac paintings? I was like...
The black and gold dress.
Yeah, it was just like that, yeah. But when they came and they were this lilac, look? I was like, oh, it's brilliant. But I personally wanted her to bring this one about the growler. Has she told you about the meaning behind it when she did it? Oh, you need to ask her about that, because it's all about when Trump came back into power, and it's like, this is her, like, it's all girl power, you know, and taking, you know, I don't know, taking power back into your own hands with, like, idiots like Trump coming into control. So
yeah.
You need to go and ask her about it, because it's fantastic. That's why I wanted that one in the exhibition.
I was a bit nervous about her calling it the growler. I was kind of like, where's this going to go?
And I love it. And the tattoos, and it's just, you know, there's a lot of themes running through the work in terms of female empowerment, class, I don't know, the pattern, the colour, the vibrancy, which is great. There's connections with all the other artists here as well.
Where do you get your influences for your art? What do you like to paint when you're pissed off, when you're happy, when you're...
Well, that's a really interesting question, actually. Because if things are a bit bad for me, if I'm feeling a bit low, then if I get into a painting, then it really helps, because, you know, I can just lock into it, and I'm doing it for like 15 hours straight. And but yeah, my paintings are dopamine dressing for your walls. They are, you know, joyful, life-affirming, vibrant art. It's, you know, my brand is Shropshire Tropicalia. I coined the phrase urgent lemons from my tutor at university. My first oil painting that I ever did, I'd never used oils before. I don't use oils now, I use acrylics. I did oils, and we had to paint these still life lemons on the floor. And I had this really hard Northern Irish tutor called Roxy Walsh. I don't know what she's doing now, but she was terrifying, and she terrified me. And she saw mine and she said, Lucy, if it's possible to paint an urgent lemon, Lucy, you've done it here. It's an urgent fucking lemon like this. And I was like, I was only 19. I hadn't done a foundation year, not gone away. And I was like, oh my God. But then urgent lemons kind of stuck with me.
Urgent lemon?
Yeah, but apparently lemons are all in for 2025. So I'm really on it. Like, I can't get enough of painted lemons. I find them very joyful. I think they're concentrated light, love. Goethe, when he travelled from Germany to Italy, you know, he's in a town called Limoni, had a revelation about, why not in the land where the lemon trees grow, because it's a thing of a possibility where anything can happen.
I think as a tagline, though, an urgent lemon, I'm in and out, I'll leave a taste in your mouth.
Yeah. Well, it's concentrated, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, like, I love colours, I love eclectic things, this one with the peeling lemon is sort of like reminiscent of like Dutch still lives, like Peter Kleiss. But obviously the colour palette is really Latino inspired. I lived in Peru for 2 years. I love everything Latino, which is one of the reasons I got Chris to come and do the exhibition, because he's obsessed with all things Mexican.
My wife's from Colombia.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
God, I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, you should bring her along.
Yes, she was at Drawn with us. I mean, it's nice. I mean, we've been there a couple of times, and you talk about colour and vibrancy. It's like South America is amazing.
Yes, it really
is.
Yeah. And I mean, I really like in Chris's work as well how he picks up on the text from South America, and that's recurring in the work. But I mean, I just love colour. I'm an obsession. I'm a colour lover. I believe in maximalism, which is great because maximalism is back in finally. Yeah. Minimalism is out. You know,
so big.
It's more. It's
right.
more. You know,
yeah.
It's funny because we were hanging this wall of the exhibition, and. I was like, I don't know, how is it going to work? Is there too much and even just in the room, is there too much in one space? But I think it works really well.
I think you've done a really good job, because you're right. I feel like if you have too much colour surrounding you, it can get a bit
intense.
Yeah. But you've done a really good job. I mean, you're not just curating the art, though. It's the people around you as well. And how natural. I mean, you talk about like how you've brought people together that sort of accentuate each other.
Yeah, definitely. They've got similar ideals with their own painting. There's connected ideas, there's connected colour palettes, there's neons going through all of the artists' work. But I like the fact that we're all different. You know, we've got a landscape artist, we've got a portrait artist, we've got a figure painting artist, we've got a painter of like modern life in Mexico, we've got still life, I'm still life. So we've got everything, and I think there is a joyful, life-affirming element in all of the work. But, you know, Michael's got a real quiet sensuality, you know, and, you know, Natalie's got loads of, like, kahunas in the work, you know, and it's just like, you know, so it's great. I'm really pleased how it works together. I think this wall here really shows how you can hang lots of pieces like this together in your own home. You don't, you know, I've sort of talked to a few people saying, I don't know how this would work in my house, you know, but I don't know. We've seen them big painting like that hang above a fireplace, and it's something to focus on and to wonder about.
I think if it makes you happy.
Yes.
I mean,
definitely.
I've got one of Gary Drew's Charles Darwin's on my wall, on my home.
Yeah, cool.
It's amazing, and I walk in, and that makes me smile because I know how much work he puts into it. It's like a piece of local. You know what I mean?
I think that's so important for people to support local. That's why we got Rowton in to come and do the wine. Really wanted. I think it's so important in Shrewsbury's having an art revelation, an art renaissance right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we should be supporting contemporary artists. We should be supporting exciting new artists. There needs to be a contemporary art space in the Flax Mill. We should have that, like the Turbine Hall in London, like the Baltic in Newcastle. We need to have our own powerhouse of art.
Absolutely, we need a home for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was at Swan Hill Studios with Sam Pooley Stride. We did some great sessions there. There's something nice going on there.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a fight to save the hive, which is
yes. It'd be great to have it all coordinated together into one mega sort of space, and because this is a wonderful contemporary space, but it is quite small for Shrewsbury. But I think it works really well. But I think we should have more. But it's great to be on the start of something, which I think it is getting bigger and bigger.
Do you think? I mean, this is going to be. I don't know if it's going to come across as an arty question. I don't know, but the world's changing. Trump's back in power, and it's there seems to be this anti-woke, kind of anti-liberal sort of movement at the moment. Do you think that brings out powerful artists? Do you feel like there's going to be more?
Definitely. I think it's a revolution. I think definitely. And I think art is the last bastion of positivity and revolution. And definitely. I mean.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. I've been asking people, say you're an artist, you want to get out there for the first time, you want to show people your art.
Oh, yeah.
What's the best advice you could give to someone to kind of get out there?
Okay, so a number of things you should definitely do. You should do a drawing a day and then get it out there. It doesn't matter if it's your best drawing or whatever, just put it out there, just put it out there every day, and don't let anyone else stop you. And don't, because there's a lot of imposter syndrome out there in every walk of life, in every career. Everyone feels like that. And we all did this thinking, oh God, is anyone going to like it? But, you just have to keep doing it, and then it doesn't matter, and just don't listen to anything else. And you have to be bloody bold and resolute, and that's hard, because everyone is, ultimately we're all little squishy beings, but I just say keep going. Persistence beats resistance. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Keep going. That's how I feel, and I have dark days as well. And some people can't believe that. They're like, "Oh, Lucy, you're so energetic, you're so colourful," and I'm like, I have times when. But then I think actually painting is what helps, because you get lost in the painting, you do 15 hours of painting, and you're like, "Oh, look what I did,"
Yeah.
But it's difficult because I think the Instagram generation, we all in some ways it's wonderful because we can circumvent the galleries and go straight to the client, the consumer. But in some ways you're seeing all this amazing artwork and you're thinking, oh God, what am I like? How do I compare to that? But you need to not compare yourself to other people. You need to just go ahead and do what you do.
Do you know what? It's valuable advice. I'm struggling at the moment myself because I kind of I've been doing this for so long now. I'm kind of
But you're the biscuits. You're the biscuit man.
I know, but
I feel like Biscuit Factory Gallery.
No,
There's a few. Yeah, we should have another one.
Absolutely. So yeah, great advice. Don't
keep going. You just got to keep going. You just got to not let anyone get to you, and just keep going.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for inviting me today.
Oh, thank you for coming.
It's great to see so many familiar faces. Come to see your art.
It's really nice to see everything really busy.
Amazing. Well, listen, I want to get you on the biscuit properly for a good hour
sure,
chat.
Yeah. Anytime,
nice, relaxed. Yeah. Because these are great, but I want to sit with you for an hour.
Oh,
nice.
I feel it's always difficult talking to you. I'm aware of how do. Also, I hate the sound of my own voice.
Me
I
too.
sound like a and I hate. And when I listen to it back afterwards, it sounds worse. I'm like, oh, and I'm consciously aware of should I be sounding like a soundbite, But it's really, and also my thoughts, I'm a menopausal woman of 46. Do things come out in the right order? They definitely don't,
I think you sound anything but that. You're so unique, and I love that. You're authentically you. That's great.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Ultimately, just leave everything else behind. And I think when you are authentically you, then there's a space that you can go into where you can really do something different. You got to lean into it. But it is difficult because you're like, what if people don't like that? But
yeah, well, nice to chat to you today. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming.
Well, yeah, enjoy the night.
I'm Michael.
You're Michael, and you're artist here today. Amazing, vibrant colours on every single wall here. What's it feel like to be exhibited alongside these other artists?
Yeah, great. No, it's nice. It's a nice space, and there's some really nice work here.
What does it feel like to take what you've created and sort of show everybody what you've? I mean, like, it's there in front of everybody. Like, you're wearing your heart on your sleeve. What does that feel like as an artist?
It's kind of what you do it for, because you kind of paint. You do your paintings, and you do them within your own little space. And it's not until you walk out of that space with your painting and put them on a wall somewhere that you kind of, you know what you've done. If you know what I mean, that painting over there, I wasn't sure what it was going to look like. And then I walked in here and put it on the wall, and I was like, oh, actually that worked. You know, and sometimes you do it the opposite, and you think, oh,
what have I done?
Yeah.
What is this?
But that, yeah, it's what, I mean, I don't care whether I sell a painting or not. I just want people to see them, if you know what I mean. I mean, obviously, if you do sell, you can paint more, but it's like I work to allow me to paint what I want to paint.
So you create for you, then you kind of like, I want to make this because I feel like.
Yeah, I'm not interested in selling it.
Oh, that's really nice.
I shouldn't really say that, because people do want you to sell things, but I don't really care.
No, because the reason it's good is because you're doing it for the art. You're doing it because you feel like it. And I feel like when you're doing stuff like that, I feel like there's no pressure on, I need to sell a painting. It's just a fluid flow of creativity.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just, you just go and paint what you want to paint, hope that it works, and then by the time it does, I hope somebody will show it somewhere.
And where does this begin for you as a thing, art? Has this always been a part of your life?
Yeah, I've always painted. Yeah, I did a degree probably quite a few years ago, and I've painted ever since. So, yeah, I've always painted.
And your style of work, how do you land upon a style? Because it's very uniquely you, isn't it? You know, how do you feel like, oh, this is where I'm going with it?
It's just where it develops. I mean, the whole thing with painting is you ideally, and drawing. I mean, a lot of my work comes out of drawing. I draw a lot, and if you just start how you start and just keep developing, rather than jumping around between lots of different styles and stuff, you just become better and better, and it changes. The way that your work looks now, I mean, 5 years' time, my work will look completely different, but it'll have followed that path of development. I won't have sort of thought, right now I'm going to start doing something completely different. I'll just keep working at it, and it'll just change and develop, and that's just the way it works for me.
It's nice to see you incorporating people with, I would say, aspects of society, you know, buildings and the things we have around us. And what makes you put them together? Like, what inspires you to sort of choreograph that sort of that canvas, to have these sunflowers and this picnic, and what drives you to make that?
I like interiors mainly. Most of my paintings are interiors, even though that's a painting with sunflowers. It's kind of like, a lot of the time I paint exteriors, but I paint it on wallpaper. So I'll paint like a woodland scene, but it'll be wallpaper, and there'll be a skirting board at the bottom and chairs in the room and things like that. So I very rarely paint outdoor scenes. That's probably, I think there's only 2 that I've painted recently that are outdoors. But even that is quite, it's almost like quite a flat background, quite decorative, almost as if it could be wallpaper.
Yeah.
And I just like interiors, and I like ornaments. I like painting ornaments. I sort of, and part of that is a sort of like collecting things. I like an excuse to buy ornaments, if you know what I mean. So Staffordshire dogs and silverback rabbits. And
do you have to Do you have to create when you're in your safe zone, when you're comfortable, or do you think it pays off sometimes to put yourself out of your comfort zone and sort of scare yourself a little bit, or entice some emotions that you wouldn't normally get?
It's just there, if you know what I mean. I don't need to force anything. It's just like if I sat down now and started thinking and drawing, I'd think of my next painting. It's always there. So I just have spells where if I'm coming to the end of a painting, I've probably got maybe another 14, 15 paintings planned out already. So I'll start drawing one of them out. But sometimes I'll just sit down and just draw out ideas. But then the painting is very different because I have there's a composition, there's a story behind the painting, but it's almost like that goes down first and then it's just about painting. So all I'm interested in at that point is painting. So it's like the colours, the texture, the flatness, or the washes that I put on are almost like the content is irrelevant. It's just like it's almost like an abstract painting on top of a composition, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's a point where it just becomes painting.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it's really nice. And to be surrounded by other artists that are so vibrant and bright, how's that for you? I mean, does it add competition? Does it offer something towards your art? I mean, what's that like for you?
I don't really think about it, to be honest. I just sort of I just paint, and the fact that somebody has allowed me to come along and stick some paintings on the wall and provide people to look at them is everything. I mean, it's nice that the work works with it, because you always do worry that you're going to end up in a gallery and everything will clash and not really set your work up. But when I brought that piece in, I plonked it down on the floor there. Those two pieces were already on the floor by the side of it, and I thought, oh yeah, that's going to work.
Well, talk us through that piece. It looks like a couple in a pub somewhere, and they're at a table together, and they look a bit fed up. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's called a red wine and a consulate will make it all right. And it was like, when we were a bit fed up, we always just go down the pub and have a few red wines and smoke a couple of consulates, when you can smoke in pubs. Yeah. And it was just this really nice pub that had this really crazy flock wallpaper. And
I like it. It's very nice.
Basically what it's about. My paintings quite often can look quite cute and have quite strange meanings underneath, but those two, that one and that one, are pretty much just about love, really.
About love.
Not much else.
Actually, I said that they look kind of fed up. What I'm kind of getting from that is like, it's that scene from Pulp Fiction, when they're like, do you think it's really nice when you can just shut the for 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Just could be in that comfortable silence.
Comfortable, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I get from that, actually.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, that's nice.
Really good. Well, listen, it's really great to chat to you. I mean, where can people, obviously this is an audio-only podcast. If people want to see your art, where would they find it?
I've got a couple of paintings in Wrexham next month at the Hyper Studios Dispensary Gallery. It's in an old As the Living building. It's worth a trip.
All right, okay.
It's a massive gallery and everything's hung so beautifully. So I don't think there's anything in there at the moment.
Is that Island Green? Is it?
Yeah, Island Green. Yeah. So yeah, it's worth checking that out on Instagram, because they've got a couple of exhibitions coming up, which will be good.
So just give Michael Paramore a Google.
Yeah.
You got Instagram and
you'll
Facebook.
Probably get lots of pictures of Hayley out of Paramore, but yeah, you'll find me eventually. Itchy Boris probably better.
How dare she be famous and have the same name as me?
How dare actually name a band after me.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, listen, it's been great to chat to you today, and well done for this, because you brought out our MP, you brought out all the other artists in the town, so well done. Brilliant. Nice to chat to you today. This room is full of local artists, people from the art world, and when it comes to Shrewsbury and art, Cherie Jerrard is one of the... Well, you bringing the people together that you do at Drawn. It is like an epicenter for artists that are local, right?
Absolutely, it is. But I do like to support Drawn members, and Lucy is one of those. And she always brings the vibrancy and the colour and energy. She's got lots of energy, so it's great to come and see it up hanging so beautifully here.
Really nice, isn't it? Like we were talking about how sometimes too much colour in a room can be a bit... but I think she's done a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, they've been beautifully framed. Whoever did the framing, I haven't asked yet, but they've done a great job.
And what do you look at when you come to an exhibition like this? Do you look for inspiration, and you can I wouldn't do it that way, or I'm really happy how they did that?
Well, you can't overthink it. You've just got to feel it. I mean, you always get drawn to a couple, and there's no reason why. And you can interpret whatever you want from it, because you were just telling me what they mean. But until you actually read that, you might get the wrong end of the stick, but it doesn't really matter.
Well, those sort of cliche things you see in movies where people just stare at the paintings.
Yeah.
Actually, I've just done that with this one over here.
Yeah.
I was just chatting to Michael about this, and I was saying, they look like they're really awkward in the pub, but then I thought, actually, it reminds me of, that scene in Pulp Fiction when they're like, I think it would be great when you can just shut the up for 5 minutes. That comfortable silence, that's what I get from that.
Yeah, that would be a great title, Comfortable Silence.
Comfortable Silence.
Ooh, I like that. Hey, all right.
We've had Lucy today with Urgent Lemon. An Urgent Lemon. I was like, that's amazing. We're getting so many great taglines from this today. So have you got any messages for Lucy and the artists today?
No, you just got to be resilient and keep going. I mean, you'll connect with your people at some point, and she obviously has, because this room's buzzing. And it's not the biggest room, but it's working really well.
Yeah, we've got the MP walking around. She's here. I'm going to shove a mic in her face in a minute. And local artists too. I saw Kate Taylor from... where's she gone? Walking.
That was Josie, just walked past. Yeah.
Amazing. Who's who?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I have only just arrived, so I'm taking it all in.
Well, I'm gonna take my microphone out of your face and let you enjoy the art. Thank you. Lovely to see you.
And
as always.
you, always.
Have yourself. On her way out, and she's trying to get out of here. Julia Buckley, thank you so much for coming today. What's it like seeing so many great artists and so much great art on the wall in this town?
It's really exciting, isn't it? So the walls are full of all this vibrant colour, and then the room is full of all this excited chat. And I just had an artist explaining the meaning of one of the pictures, and while we were talking, somebody came over and asked to buy the painting. It was like, wow, this is brilliant. It's like the first half hour of the show. So yeah, we're so lucky to have such talent, and what we need are more shows like this and put Shrewsbury on the map.
Usually in rooms like this, I'm kind of like, oh my God, I need to get out. But actually, I feel like these are nice people. These are creators. These are people that I think wear their heart on the sleeve, just like myself, I
think that is a really nice vibe in the room. I agree with you. And the pictures themselves, they're vibrant, but they're not angry. They're quite warm, aren't they? I mean, I love these ones over here, these sort of landscapes, kind of impressionist, but completely an unusual colour. So like bright pink landscapes. It really works.
I love it.
Pretty, yeah.
I really do love it. Well, listen, thank you so much for supporting local artists, because I think we need it right now. I think the world's changing, and we need art as a way of expressing what's right and what's true. So thank you for supporting that.
No, it's absolutely brilliant, and good luck to them.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
So there we go. What a great episode. Now, listen, I did record an outro walking to my car underneath the railway bridge, and there was like boy racer cars going past, and I had all these quick quips about. Well, yeah, it was really cool. But I missed a load of information. But listen, thank you to all the everybody that spoke to me that evening. It was my first night out in a while. I was a little bit nervous, but once I started getting going, it was fine. I always say you got to jump into the pool, don't dip your toe in. It just makes it easier. Make sure you give those artists a follow. I'll tag the artist's Instagram on the readout for this podcast. Also, go to Instagram and look for Colour Now, and just give them a follow, because obviously it features loads of different artists. It will evolve just like everything else does. So give them a follow. And speaking of evolution, the Shrewsbury Biscuit's evolving too. This is the important part I wanted to tell you all about. Next episode, you're going to meet your brand new co-host for the Shrewsbury Biscuit. Now, I wanted to say a little bit now before we get into it, just to say, like, I know we've had a few co-hosts in the years, and I love those people very much. People have come and gone, and there's no bad blood between me and people that have come and gone. This is just an opportunity for people to come and learn about the town, learn about what the Shrewsbury Biscuit does, and come along with me to some great events and stuff. So thank you to all the co-hosts and the people that have joined us and helped us support the show in the past. But I really am excited to bring Victoria Island. We did a play on names, Alan Vix, I think I'm going to call it. Vix was really good. She came on the podcast last year. We did a lot about river safety, and she's really enthusiastic to come into the team and to bring in her own guests and put her own spin on content and create different types of shows, debates, get the biscuit on the street and speaking to people. You know, I think there's going to be lots of really cool stuff coming from this. So welcome to the team, Vix. And next week you'll get to hear all about her. And then on, we've got some really good guests lined up. So welcome to the team, Vix, and I hope you guys show her some love when she gets here properly. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you to everybody that spoke to me in this. Thank you for listening. If this is your first time listening to the Shrewsbury Biscuit, please give us a follow on social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. You can go to the website too, lovingly made for us by Web Orchard, and you can find at the shrewsburybiscuitpodcast.co.uk. Right, I'm going to go. I've got to go pick my kid up from school. Have a great one, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. And yeah, peace out.